one of the
Rugby. Assemble. Grand Championship Saturday is here, and Hong Kong's Game of the Week has 4 bumper finals live to air at 1 p.m. Starting with final number 1, the Kerry Hotel Men's Championship. Final number 2, the Saxo Capital Markets Men's Premiership A Grand Championship Final at 2:30 p.m. Final 3 at 4:15 p.m. the KPMG Women's Premiership Grand Championship Final. And at 6:30 p.m, final number 4, the Saxo Capital Markets Men's Premiership Grand Championship Final of Hong Kong. Friends and family around the world, tune in to support your team. Don't miss it. Stand by for action, ladies and gentlemen. Live from Hong Kong. It's the 2018/19 Grand Championships, and we've reached the end. Grand final number 4. It is the Saxo Capital Markets Premiership for Men Grand Championship Grand Final, and I am joined by what can only be reflected upon me as, well, 2 men that need some real help. Starting off, former Hong Kong international Rob Naylor, the man they call the Junior, the man, the brains behind the effort in Bangkok, the Cavalier number 1. How are you going, Junior?
Mate, I'm a bit wet, but I'm all right.
Are you excited about this one?
I'm actually amped. Yeah, it's good to see 2 different teams in the final for once. Not the Valley or Football Club as usual. And mate, it's shaping up to be a cracker, I think.
Okay, we'll talk about that more soon. And joining me here, I think everybody's got a little part and place in their heart for Moses Bailey this weekend. A man that really should be out there, and I'm disappointed you're not. And I'm kind of even more disappointed I've got to sit beside you. But you do make me look good, Moses.
Touche, Jedi, touche. Welcome, Rob, as well. It is a great place to be beside you two fine gentlemen as we see the Sandy Bay boys come out. What a treat it's going to be. Like you said, a bit disappointed not to be out there today, but we're pulling for the boys, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, we won't dwell on it too much, but let's get on now, Junior. Last week, these blokes pulled out an effort against the football club that I think they'll be talking about for years.
Mate, definitely. I think our football club might have had the old. We've won the league. This one should be a bit of a rollover. And Sandy Bay, the form team of the last round, they've come through 6 on the trot now, I think it was, and they showed everyone they mean business, and they're here to win this grand final.
Moses, Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish arrive in this grand final. It's look, at Christmas time it was like, let's sit up and watch these blokes walk off with the league title, and then the wheels come off, but somehow they've pulled it back together in time to be here.
Well, absolutely. It's very similar in opposite effects from what happened with Sandy Bay hitting 6 on the trot after only winning 2 before then to make their way into the semis. And it's sort of after Christmas for Scottish. They went down and they lost 4 in a row and showed hard metal actually to win the last couple of games to get themselves into the championship position and then take on Valley, who are infamous for being able to turn it over at the right time. And they managed to get through that game last week. Wasn't a pretty game, but they are in the final tonight, and definitely won't be any easy opposition, that's for sure.
Jenny, what do you like about the Scottish side?
Mate, I think they've got the grunt up front, which could be the key for them tonight. If we get another downpour tonight, I think that could play in their favour. But yeah, definitely they've got the big boys up front, bit of up the jumper stuff, and that could be their sort of their way into winning this final.
Man in the middle tonight, 10 DeWitt referee Tim Baker. He is the number 1 whistler in town. He does pretty regular stints up in Europe at the moment with the Women's Six Nations. And, well, he's basically pretty much a set feature. When you see Tim Baker out in the middle, you know it's been deemed a big one. We are almost ready for a start to the end. It's been a good old run since September, and it all comes down to this 80 minutes for these 2 teams, both of them making their debuts at the Grand Championship. And one of them will have the history-making honour of putting their name on the trophy. HKU Sandy Bay, Hong Kong Scottish. Tweed et al. Will need to be absolutely firing if they're going to hold this front 5 from Sandy Bay, because when they kicked clear of the box on the drop last week, they left club sprawled across the park. Oh, I can feel it, Moses. I can feel the occasion. I can feel some atmosphere.
Absolutely, Jedi, you're all over it. These guys have been raring to go all week. I know at Sandy Bay we've been just sitting here saying to ourselves to enjoy the moment, enjoy being in the final. You don't often get there. So regardless of the result, let's just see. It's a good game. Let's see how we can push down, and here we go.
Nicholas coming, gets things underway, and the Scottish side grab it, and they roll it, and they ram it, and they've got off to a flying start. This Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish team, and Tim Baker says, you've dragged that down, you can't do that, that's cheating. And the opening exchange goes the way of Scottish, and just a flash there of Mark Pryor getting up off the ground. Moses, that'll put a smile on your face seeing the big man out there.
Absolutely. Look, Scottish did really well to take that in these conditions off the kick-off. Able to put forward a very good drive. They got the momentum going and won the penalty there. It's been good to see Pryor in the last couple of weeks. He's been firing up, and just chatting to him this morning, he's very keen for this game. I expect to see him play a big role in Sandy Bay's performance.
Junior, if this Hong Kong Scottish side are going to find a way, where are they going to find it?
Well, mate, I would say they're going to have to play it tight, but I would imagine they're also going to use big Lex Gallagher in the midfield there. He's come back at the right time, made his run perfectly for the finals, and he's pretty amped as well. So they'll put him up short ball early, I'd imagine, to take to the Sandy Bay backs.
Jan's good down the back to Nardoni. Here he comes, the first appearance, and he's arrived like a black ramrod. There's big Lex, all the way from Lawrence. Same way play they go. Sandy Bay defence is up. It's pretty stark on the far side. They turn it back now, come against the fold. There's Dane Jans. He's just been carting it up all season in the Saxo Capital Markets Premiership, and now they whip it. Lex again brought down pretty well by Cumming. They cart it straight up. They've made some pretty short work. It looks like Lamming's taken one early. Oh no, number 24, I'm not sure.
That's Lamming, yeah.
It is Lamming. Ball shown on the inside. Scottish full of running at the moment. They keep it moving, they keep pushing it forward. Kalika cleans up the loose ball. Bay settled down. Playing in that famous strip of the mini club, isn't it? It's a stark difference from the strip they were in last week, but it's a classic. There's Scottish rumble forward. Another big carry. Sort of things have settled down somewhat though. The initial breakneck speed of everything. Ball back from Taylor. It's picked up and carried again. And the first handling error of the day. I think that might be big Jamie Pincock there. And Moses, early thoughts?
Yeah, Sandy Bay did well to soak up the pressure there. They really looked good, Scottish with continuity, pulled up the phases. Lamming looked like he took unfortunate knock to the head there. Hopefully he's able to shake it off a bit early on in the play. He went low in the head. He knows how to put a good tackle in, Matt does. Yeah, I think pretty solid in the beginning defensively. We'll take that in these kind of conditions with that momentum. And now just to make sure that we're able to take from this position, get out of our danger zone and take it down the field.
Junior, a lot been made about the return of Alex McQueen into the midfield for Sandy Bay, and he made a big difference last weekend. It's that extra threat of speed out there, isn't it, on the attack? But he's pretty solid in defence too.
No, he's a class player, and he'll. I think it's probably his fourth final for, or in the sort of Sandy Bay's Aberdeen group. So he'll be looking forward for a big one tonight in a final. But one thing, you know, I want to add for the defensive line there, Lex has taken up twice now. And I think Sandy Bay is starting to rush him, so they need to be careful. They're not both arrowing in on one guy, because he gets out offloaded and they're in their way. So I think that's what the ploy they're going for is chuck Lex up, draw the defence, and he'll offload.
Reece Dickinson and Jared Monkston making up the halves for Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish. Well, it's certainly not the halves they started the season with. I think James Christie got his start in the Premiership, and well, he made pretty much every post a winner until he broke his leg.
Yeah, it's definitely a big loss. He was class. He came on early in the season. He was class. He was making a massive difference for Scottish.
Absolutely, a lot of go-forward ball for them.
Yeah, definitely.
And Gregor McNeish, as we all know, when he gets on the front foot, well, he's pretty much there isn't a trick he can't do.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's all going to be about front foot ball today. What team can get the momentum, and you'd be looking for Sandy Bay. We're looking at the big number 8, Luke van der Smit, to be carrying them over the advantage line, and then having the backs with the way they've been playing over the last few weeks. Absolutely have a crack at this back line of Scottish. But like you said, they're coming up against some seasoned campaigners in the midfield there. Should be a great contest.
Well, he's a real talking point, isn't he? The form of Luke van der Smit. Had 10 or 11 weeks there where he just...
Crouch!
Well, it'd be hard to put in any numbers.
Bind!
The effort that he has put in this season.
Sit!
Between him and Gear Curry, they have shouldered a lot of responsibility. And the early jiggery pokery up the front, gentlemen, as the classmates get settled. This is what they call the settling down period.
Yeah, it is, Jed. I think that everyone will be having a bit of nerves here, and the nerves combined with the weather isn't going to be good for free-flowing rugby.
Whoever's making Jack Parfitt's uniforms got having a bad case of the nerves as well, because after all these years, they just can't seem to get it right.
Yeah, I might add the Sandy Bay kit's not too flattering for some of the big boys up front there. I probably would have gone for a dark colour around the midriff, but hey, they're in the final, so...
That's exactly it. They won't be worrying too much. That shirt will be sticking real tight on them in these wet conditions too. Flattery all round. There goes the big number 8.
Van der Smit, he tries to get rid of Dickinson, but Dickinson does well.
Take or release!
Hanging on for dear life. He's a gorilla of a man, isn't he? Luke van der Smit. And there's the clearance from Sandy Bay.
Also a key factor today, Jedi, Liam Slatem's form. He's been playing so well lately. He really is a great link between the backs and the forwards. He fires today. It'll be very, very difficult to stop the momentum coming from Sandy Bay.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, the way he plays, he's got a great box kick as well. He'll be, if I was him, I'd be putting some pressure on Scottish quite early. High balls in this weather. It's not going to be easy with a few big boys charging at him.
Dane Jans in the rain and the wind. Picks out Mick Parfitt and does it well. Monkston all off into Kalika. He runs over the top of a couple of them. A short side play goes behind, and here come the Bay. They flood through. And it looked like Big Della leading the charge on that one. And I think you could put a tick in his box. There's a little bit of initial disagreement gets started. And who's in the middle of it? Well, it's that man Mark Pryor.
Indeed,
is that how it's going to be today, Moses?
He was fired up. He came through very hard over there, and was the first man to hit into that ruck. Looked like it caused a knock-on from Scottish side, and Sandy Bay relieve a lot of pressure there. They've spent a bit of time now in their half, and first opportunity to really have a crack now at Scottish.
Well, it's a contact sport at the end of the day. It's potentially what we find so appealing about it. Scrum time. Just inside the Scottish half, and it's all been played out in front of the packed grandstand on the far side. You wouldn't think a grandstand in Hong Kong could get packed in this weather, but there's a fine array of umbrellas that have been pilfered from Starbucks and Pacific Coffees all over town, I would imagine. And there won't be a spare one in the neighbourhood tonight as they go down at the front. And it's Cinnamon's the culprit. He loses to Parfitt. Dowsing goes. Dowsing carries it up to the 22. That's the sort of stuff you want to see from the skip. Now they move it. Oh, I thought someone had got slammed there. Up and over the 22. Scottish establish themselves now. Tweed. He carries. He's a tireless worker. Here's a big card from Pincock. Dickinson now. He goes one out. He finds Tweed again. He must have been standing still when he got that. And it's a penalty.
Yeah, they just let Dowsing run too far there too soon off that little tap. He made 20-odd metres. They were able to hit right over that. And it seemed like someone came in offsides, and it'll be a penalty right in front for Scottish.
Yeah, mate, momentum was a key there for Scottish. With a team with that much front foot ball, it's difficult to get onside. And they know if you keep the ball in Hong Kong for more than 5 or 6 phases in the opposition's 22, or even world rugby, you're bound to sort of draw a penalty somewhere. And the truth be told here, they get a penalty right in front, and I'd say could be looking at 3-0 to Scottish after this.
Well, I think if you're going to pick a Premiership 23, the bloke in your screen right now, he'd be one of the first names on the boat.
100%.
This man Taylor has come out of nowhere, first season in Hong Kong, and played the absolute house down from minute one. Taylor for 3 to bring Sandy Bay off the line. And that's the way it starts. Bloomberg, Hong Kong, Scottish 3, Sandy Bay 0. Moses Bailey, thoughts?
Yeah, you don't want to give a calibre of kicker such as a man from Scottish over here an opportunity right in front of the sticks. Did well there. They did a lot of momentum, built themselves up into that phase, got the penalty, and have made Sandy Bay pay. Just not getting any continuity at the moment. We'll just hope to get a bit of ball and see how we go from this kick.
Nicholas Cumming goes high, wide, handsome and deep into the 22. It's picked off by Dickinson, but he can't find the line. And Cameron feeds Thundersmith, and Thundersmith tries them all on. Nardoni does a good job of bringing him down, but it's turned over by Scottish. And Hong Kong Scottish now stepping in. Ball in hand, Dickinson. There's Parfit over the top of the first one. And it was a prop versus a fly half. He needs to pick on someone his own size. Out in front of the main stand they go. Taylor scythes up the 5 metre line. Dickinson now. There's Pincock. Carries and goes down. James doing all he can. Good strong work over the ball by Cinnamon, but they hit the 22 again through Kalika. Short side poke they go. Oh, they're looking good for a chance here too now, Scottish. Dickinson, dousing. He slams into 3 of them. Still gets to ground. Here comes the big man Parfit. There was nobody outside him. Oh, if that had gone to Gary Curry's hands, it could have been all over. You've got to play to the whistle. The advantage is out for Scottish. That's a big old hit from Luke Thundersmith in anyone's language. It's off round the side, but it'll be brought back. And it's just as well because I need to take a wee breath. But look, Junior, intensity,
It's up there, isn't it?
momentum, it looks like the Scottish way.
No, exactly, mate. And you're looking at the play there. Scottish had so many runners. They had 3 forwards against backs on the right-hand side, and they had Lex Kaleka on the left-hand side. They had options all over the park, and you know, if they had kept the ball in hand, they would have found Sandy Bay numbers there, and they probably could have scored. But you know, it's a funny old game. The bounce of the ball can go either way, and you know, a bit of nerves as well mixed in there. A few little handling errors, but definitely Scottish look like they've done their homework on the Sandy Bay team, and we know how they're going to play.
Absolutely, it's all Scottish at the moment, like you said earlier, Junior. They got all the momentum. They're building phase after phase. Sandy Bay just got to slow it down now, get back into the right side of the field, and then start trying to take off from there. Thundersmith with a big hit in that last phase, sort of stopped momentum there, but we're going to have to look for a bit more than one-off momentum stop. Let's build our own phases there if we're going to get back into this game.
Jay, there's the touch-up. Baker calls the drop. Dickinson with the ball. There's a little bit of a cave in on the other side. I think Parfit might have Cinnamon on a bit of a plate here, to be fair. They struggle up to the 22. Straight through the middle goes dousing by the look of things. Couldn't spot the number. They may not need to. As Jans progresses things up, and they're only 7 short. Into the corner they go through Parfit. He goes down. He's 30 centimetres out. Baker's in good position. Where's the ball? It's right there. They go for the line. It's not quite over. They set up again. Dickinson. Mick Parfit gets around the corner. They set up 3, but it's met hard by Post and company.
Onside.
Dickinson. He finds now Pincott, and now it's Gear assisted by Pryor, and there's absolutely no way through there at all. Cummings leans his shoulder. Sorry, that's Delaforce. He needs to change his headgear. Short ball. They're playing it in front of the sticks. There's an error that's gone the way of Sandy Bay, and they should be patting themselves on the back for that. Junior, they've held out a big one.
No, definitely. You can see a bit of the panic there from the 9 from the Scottish. He just tried to force that last pass. I think they just got a bit frustrated that the Sandy Bay D was up in their face, and they couldn't get that ball away. Patience is needed in your opposition's 22. And the only way they're going to score is if they keep that phase after phase after phase. You can't go throwing silly passes like that. But yeah, credit to Sandy Bay D. That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big thing from last week's game in the semi, where Football Club hit them hard in the beginning of this game. And Sandy Bay were able to show very solid defence and able to come out of situations unscathed. These are big plays that are happening right down here. You know, we can see that Scottish got all the momentum. If Sandy Bay can somehow come out of this period of play, all the momentum is going against them, only a few points down, we know that a game swings in motions over here. So if we can get out of this, I think we'll have done really well, and it'll build the confidence going forward.
Well, they've come down and they've knocked on the door pretty severely. They've Bloomberg, Hong Kong, Scottish, and if they can peel them off here, as Moses said, ladies and gentlemen, it's a moral victory of sorts. 3-0 they trail at the moment. We're not even 15 minutes in. It seems there's a real vibration, a real atmosphere. As the air's cleaned out now, there's not a hint of rain. Maybe just a slight breeze coming across the field for the kickers, but really nothing much to worry about. It's cool. I think this is almost ideal nighttime conditions.
Temperature-wise, it's very good at the moment. Obviously, the rain's made it a bit slippery all around. Seems to have cleared off now. If we can stay like this, hopefully we'll be in for a high-quality final.
I might have to send you out with the car keys to halfway, Junior. Just get you and poke around out there.
Doubtful to see any cracks in these fake turfs, but just be careful.
So there it is, the lock-up and Cinnamon. They've got him, though. They've caught them. Van der Smit, he has to come off. He's done well. If they've got that ball, and I think they have. Yeah.
Well, is that going to be the talking point of the game? You know, they've spent the last 10 minutes down here in Sandy Bay territory, come away with nothing. Great D.
Who's that prop reserve for Sandy Bay, Moses? Who will come on? Faimika.
Big old Faimika and also Big Ash, the Big Kiwi. They are likely to come off the bench later on in the game. We're looking at the big Dylan Rogers' last game here in Hong Kong. What a pleasure it's been to have the man around. He'll be looking to end off on a very high note over here. But let's just see how it goes. You'll expect him to work real hard today.
Scottish poke it down into the corner for fine effect. And they just keep the pressure on the Sandy Bay outfit.
Yeah, I think if I was Sandy Bay here, I'd try and just keep the ball in hand. Even if we take a few runners, try and get momentum out of here rather than kicking the ball away. They need to sort of keep the ball in hand. So to take the ball up a few phases, just, you know, taking the ball up, hitting them up, returning and getting the ball out. It's much better than just trying to kick from here.
Sandy Bay, they do well off the line out. Van der Smit, gee whiz, he's got some great feet, doesn't he, the big man? Good carry, great feet, and hits like the hammers of hell. Liam Slatem's kick goes down range. And that's an exit play worthy of a man that holds the national jersey. Referee Matt Rodden. Not a bad wee clearance at all, was it, Junior? She's done bloody well.
It was a very good clearance. And that's it. I mean, you need to take the pressure off the kicker. So by having that guy hitting up midfield, you know you've got to keep the defenders back a bit, and it gives you a bit of time to kick. And he's got a great nudge at him. So you've got great purchases he's made taking to the 10-metre line.
Absolutely. When you've got a man the size of Van der Smit, you know he's going to get you over that advantage line. So make it that little bit easier for the halfback, and that we know, and you'll know that, sir, as playing yourself at halfback, a little bit extra there is all the difference.
Scottish have the ball, and it looks like it might have been turned here by Sandy Bay, and it has in fact. So Slatem sets it away, and Van der Smit, first receiver, gets close to the gain line, and they might have even driven him over it. So now Slatem goes a little bit wider, and coming runs into the action too as Gear Curry gets on that deadly left foot and just sends it down range. A good angle to clear. And that's not a bad return of service, to be fair. Line out restart right in front of the commentary position, basically.
Yeah, I think that kick probably would have been better off maybe a low driving kick down to the corner rather than getting height, because the ball will sit up in this ground and it'll bounce up and give the guy a chance to take it. So if he had done a long driving kick to the left corner, might have been a bit better option. But hey, they're out of their own territory, or nearly. Let's see what they can do with the ball in hand.
Well, to be fair, if it'd still been raining, that would have been the kick.
Yeah.
The high one.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you're going to put it up high, you need to put it up high enough so at least you would want someone to take on a full rather than let it bounce.
Cumming moves it on to Van der Smit, who really puts one on Jamie Pincott. Does well, though, to bring him down. Pryor gets the big body into action. He's backed up by Delaforce. And Post is over there as well.
There we go. Looks like it's an advantage to Sandy Bay. Roller not rolling away in the tackle. There goes
ball back in. Seb Bryant, he was looking for a little hole. Slatem tries to force the issue. but they'll come back for the penalty, the advantage being played by Baker. And I think, fellas, it's safe to say that the settling down, or the settling in process now is over.
Absolutely. As you can see there, it was a great bit of play there by Sandy Bay, a bit of extra continuity, crashed it up, tackle it and roll away quick enough, Junior, and maybe the advantage was Sandy Bay for a bit now.
No, exactly. I mean, Sandy Bay just absorbed that so well that they defend on their own line for probably like 10 minutes now. So, yeah, this is their first chance with ball in hand. Let's hope they can keep it and see what they can do with it.
They do well for Smith. Second man play, gear, short ball. Brian, here's a hot stepper. There's going to be a gap. He can find it and step through it. Sladen digs in. Out to Cumming. He's got the informed Angus Cameron with him. And there's the ball as well. Back to the midfield now. Smith. Upended.
Us now, Blue. Not on the ball. Never on the ball.
Sladen. Babe. Or is that Curry? I think it might have been Gear Curry. It's too big to be Lawrence Babe.
Indeed. It was a good carry there by Curry as they keep going. Liam Slater was caught to the ball.
No, it's not good. That's not good. It's not a good sign. They need to get over and protect him. Slater's done well there. Outstanding work. Gus Cameron, I think he might have thought he was going to step a lot of them there. Slater coming. Babe, the man from Brighton. He carts through. Cumming swings it again. Cameron taking a real good run at them. Good to see him get one or two wide as he actually operates so much more effectively. Just that little bit wider. McQueen. He carries into contact. Sets it back well. They're just jibing and they're poking. And Liam Sladen has sliced them open. And now the Bay come charging up the game, Craig. Sandy Bay, Liam Sladen.
He's over! The man deserved it. What a break he got through there. Throw the dummy. Went almost all the way. Tremendous try-saving tackle. But in the second phase, throws the dummy again, and over he goes, and Sandy Bay into the lead.
Yeah, it was, mate, that was just great play on Sandy Bay. They started on from back in their line out. They took the ball forward. They were picking out men, picking out options, so they could see they were against forwards against backs. They took that gap, and then Sladen was with a great little show and go there. Beautiful. Again, against two forwards. And the backup play, the support play here was brilliant from the Bay. They got there quick. They knew that was vital.
Lawrence Babe on the spot. And then Sladen, he's done him again with the same old move.
Yeah, that's actually bad D there from Scottish. Just ball watching, went for the dummy instead of taking the first man beside the ruck. He'll be biting himself for that.
Well, he's an intelligent football player. He's a thinking footy player, and they are the deadliest type. Gear Curry, he puts two on top of that. And Sandy Bay, 7. Hong Kong Scottish 3. Well, you're right, Junior. They did well. They were composed, weren't they?
They definitely were, yeah.
Moved that ball around until they saw the picture they wanted.
No, exactly. And they've got the guys in their back line that have got experience, so they've got the guys there who can read a game well enough and notice. The big thing is noticing matchups. And if you've got a back on a forward, you've got to take the chances of the back all the time. And that's exactly what Sladen did.
The restart by Scottish. Plucked out of the air. Oh, it's Sandy Bay. Neither here nor there really was the restart, to be honest. Pryor thrusts himself forward. Sladen. Up and he goes off the right foot. Plenty of time on that. Little upfield block there has come undone for the Scottish player, I think.
He's gone second best, that's for sure.
He looks like he's feeling a bit sick as Nardoni carries and Babe puts the first shoulder on him, which it seems to be enough. And now Taylor, he punches it hard down the tram tracks and it bounces into touch. And Scottish find themselves back down on the attack.
Yeah, they'll be hoping they get something out of this because, as I said earlier, they were down here for 8 to 10 minutes before, come away with nothing, so they've got to come away with something this time, otherwise, Sandy Bay just grow in confidence from that.
Yeah, no, that was this is a dangerous time for Sandy Bay now. When they've just scored, you don't want to give points away straight away. They find themselves deep in their own half. It's going to be a big line-out play over here. Good exit needed just to settle things down and not let Scottish right back in after that 7-pointer.
Yeah, I think this might be a bit of a gamesmanship here by the Scottish guy. I think he's gone down just to get a bit of composure with his team, which, to be fair, if I was playing, I would tell him one of my props to go down and do the same thing.
Well, you never used to have to tell me to go down.
No, exactly.
Yes.
You were never up, were you?
Yeah, well, that was the idea. That's when I got. That was my specialty. Time to get off the ground now, Jedi. Oh, okay, all right. Here he is, Alex Pace, former Hong Kong under-20. Played Junior World Trophy. In the mix now, it's been dragged down well. Thunder Smith.
Leave up, Luke.
It's like a runaway freight train, isn't it?
He really is the go-to man in these situations.
Curry gets on to the portside cannon and lets it rip.
Yeah, for my mind, I'd like to see Sandy Bay take that a few phases there, get a bit more forward momentum and get the boys away from the back line, up from the try line, just to give their kickers a bit more chance to get out of their own half or even close to the halfway.
Absolutely. At the moment, you see there's only one off carry and then they're going straight to the backs. You'd like to see them just change it up a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 phases before they go to carry. Give him a bit extra time.
Definitely.
Because like you guys said, he's got an absolute cannon on him. So a bit of extra time, we could see a big difference in.
Monkston goes and he feeds Kalika and he's taken pretty well by Post, isn't he? A real bootlace, and Pincock comes on just at the right time. He carts it forward a few more metres. Dickinson now finds Tweed. Tweed turns and swirls. They're in front of the poles now. They pick and go. The rain's returned. It's the return of the Scottish weather. They lift it a little bit further. Back towards the sticks they go. James comes around the corner. Head down, backside up. They're going straight at the post. And it's a dangerous defensive ploy.
Back foot, Red.
James again. No, it was Parfitt, I think. He's denied. What about this one? Try for Scottish. And the man they call Danger. Danger close.
Well, it had to come, didn't it? I mean, they've been down there for so long. This time they seemed a little bit more composed than last time. And, yeah, 2 or 3 phases up the jumper. And there's always going to be a man loose or a man out on there on his own. And you're not going to stop Dane Jans running at the knee height of that from that far out.
He's a dangerous player, isn't he? He does know how to perform in finals. He's done it for Valley for many years. He's coming over here. He's got tracked it up hard. He's gone really low. And like you say, Junior, very difficult to stop a man with that type of momentum, that low to the ground, right at the line. And he's made Sandy Bay pay. And back into the lead goes Scottish, 8-7 with a kick to come.
Taylor from a pretty kickable position. Seven points to 8. Scottish move to the lead. They'll go to 10-7.
I've got to say though, guys, that for a game that's the weather's not too crashed up, the skill level's been quite high. There hasn't been a lot of drop ball. I mean, obviously they're keeping it close for now, but it's been a good standard so far.
Taylor successful, as we just watched that again. Now, Parfitt jumped it over and got it kick-started, really. And then just that wisdom by Dane Jans to stand that little bit wider off the traffic.
And you see where he ran, he put his shoulders right into the guy's knees, and there's no way you're going to stop a guy there. I mean, unless you're 2 foot tall, you've got no chance.
Well, then you would have a chance, Junior.
I definitely would have had a chance, yeah.
Another great clearance there by Scottish. Kick was a bit deep. Wasn't really any pressure on him, but as the rain comes down, it's not easy to control. And he's put in a tremendous touch finder that's gone right back into Sandy Bay's half. Sandy Bay will have to start off something deeper and see what they can build from here.
Well, you'll be surprised to know, but we're almost at the half-hour mark in this first 40 minutes as Sandy Bay set up the head and try and maul it through, but it's well disposed of by Scottish. Right up to the point where Tim Baker said, no, you've been cheating. And you're not allowed to cheat, Junior.
Well, you can, and you just can't get caught, that's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Isn't
It's always the
that
fine
right,
print,
Moses?
isn't it? It's
It's
the
a
fine
fine
print
line.
that I miss out on.
It's a fine print that most people miss out on, unfortunately, yeah.
That's a bad miss from Sandy
Kick
Bay
doesn't
there.
find touch, unfortunately.
That's a big return from Taylor. Look at that, 22-22. Quality of that kick was pretty good, you'd have to say. Cameron tries them on. Cameron gets it away. Oh! That was almost a Gus Cameron special.
If that had it stuck, that was he was away.
Yeah, a great little break. Just looked like he got ankle tapped to the last second. Tried the offload out the back, and looked like AMAC wasn't quite ready for it and put it down. It was a bit of danger there for Scottish if they got away there.
Well, that is the one thing they will have to worry about. You can kick away to a lot of teams, but if you kick away to Gus Cameron aimlessly, you are going to end up in all sorts of trouble.
No, they're great. It's a great return of the ball. You know, and as he showed there, even when you think he's down and tackled, he can get that offload away. You know, that was centimetres away from being, you know, the ball being 20 metres downfield in AMAC's hands. I don't know you guys, but it's quite weird sitting over this side of the pitch and not hearing a Valley chant in the background for once.
You're so right. You're so right. That coming from a man that's lost in 4 finals in a row to that same Valley team. All but know the sound coming from that stand. Like you said earlier on, gentlemen, it'll be nice to have a new winner. Breathes a bit of extra life into Hong Kong rugby and gives a little bit extra for the teams to play for in the coming seasons.
Well, it'll be nice just to get a new choir master that knows a few songs. That's all.
Yeah, I think there's two chants in Hong Kong. Just the different clubs
What
change
about
letters.
that effort from Scottish as they peel them back? Cameron tries to go high, he can't pull it
Let's
in.
go forward off blue.
I think he went up a little bit too early there. I think he saw the Scottish guy coming on him. He thought he'd try and get up early and get some hang time, but he's no Michael Jordan, and he obviously dropped before the ball came.
No, it wasn't the greatest leap, was it? Just quietly.
It was last time I seen a leap that high, I think was Nigel Hobber in Bangkok when we won the final.
Must have got lost in the raindrops there as it came down. It's a huge carry-o, and the rain itself is really bucketing down now. This is not going to make it any easier for the teams of the Scottish lineup to try and take advantage of another three-pointer.
Well, it's a genuine test of the umbrellas and the quality of them, and I tell you what, they don't seem to be moving anywhere. There's a few plastic ponchos over there as well. But it's one of those days, boys, where you're more wet on the inside than you are on the outside, let's be honest.
Well,
I think the wetter you get on the outside, the wetter you got to get on the inside, don't you? The lineup's pretty cold on that side right now, I'd say. Once you're wet, you can't. It's not going to dry up that easily.
Well, Taylor is a long way out here. He's 40 plus out, and then with the angle, a little bit more. This will be quite a telling blow at the 31-minute mark. Bloomberg, Hong Kong Scottish fullback, takes his strike. And, well,
you might want to see the replay of that one, I imagine.
They call it an attempt at goal, and that's exactly what it was. Now they move. Kalika gathers it, takes it forward with some authority as well. Mongston, Jans, the try scorer. They move it again. It's time. Mongston picks out the sideline and pins Sandy Bay back in. Well, gee whiz, this could be the classic game of two halves, boys.
Yeah, there's nothing in it, is there? I mean, Sandy Bay have defended for most of the game, and it's only 10-7. So if they can go into the half with not being, with either being that close or even closer, then they'll take a lot out of this first half, this first 40.
Absolutely, the majority of the half has been spent down here with Sandy Bay defending, and all of a sudden now they've seen a turnover, and this is really dangerous for the Bay.
Dear, oh dear. Well,
I don't agree with that decision at all.
Penalty right in front of the sticks.
Looks like AMAC's managed to talk his way out
yes,
of...
I'd have to say he's given it the who-me.
Well, I don't think he didn't charge it. He just put his arm up to try and. He actually went an upward motion, so it shouldn't be an intentional knockdown. I think he's very hard done by there.
How unlucky or lucky it is. It looks like it's going to be a three-pointer for Scottish once again, right in front of the posts.
They'll be pointing to Alex McQueen's fine pilot-like reflexes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Taylor finds himself behind the ball. The ball finds itself in front of the poles. And I suspect very shortly it'll find itself in the car park. 7-10 the score. Taylor just working that sort of midsection chakra there.
He's doing his little dance before the jig, and here he comes up, steps up, pretty much is straight in front. Over she goes.
I don't think they're going to find that in the car park.
I think it's gone to the housing estate behind it. Some lucky kid's going to have a ball tomorrow in his front yard.
With all the balls that get kicked over there, we don't get any rugby players out of it.
Absolutely.
Unless they're chopping them down for something else. Back to halfway they go. 7 points to HKU Sandy Bay. They trail Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish by 6, but it's only by 6. Scottish take the ball in the 22. The Bay arrive. Now they chase, and Monkston gets on the right foot to see it off. Down to Cameron it goes. He picks up Thundersmith. It's a big man to take down. There's the counter ruck. Oh, there's little gaps there, wasn't there? You'd be almost just sniffing them out, or maybe hold on to the fact that they'll probably be there later in the game. Lamming, he carts it up. Been a little bit quiet so far, but that's his style. He loves to get in and do all the dirty work. They carry it out to Pryor. He's met and driven sideways. Sladen digs in. Cumming goes wide. Bit of a target there, I think Simon wasn't he? And Sladen keeps the forwards going forward. Taylor does well. He's charged out of the 22, didn't he? That was almost a pinpoint accurate kick.
It was a great kick from the scrum half there.
Nardoni takes Cumming into the dark room with him. Dickinson releases to Monkston, and that goes up and under. Curry has to look at it, competing for it. Look out, here comes Cameron. He gets it going forward. He always seems to arrive just at the right time if things go loose. The Queen's kick is partly charged.
That's a great kick from Amac
Yeah,
there.
Curry did not miss the target there. Now the Bay, they start to threaten. And it's Scottish who are going to work their exit plans out. Pidcock picks it up. They've just slowed it down, haven't they? They've not panicking at all, to be fair.
9.
Ball is slow. That's the way they want it. Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. And Monkston clears. But still, Sandy Bay are in the area.
Yeah, they're where they want to be, that's for sure.
It was a great play by Sandy Bay there. The kick was just got a foot to it from Amac's kick, and they were able to recover. And they didn't panic, like you said, Jeddah. They were able to just take it up, slow it down, and get into touch. I'd say with only about 4 minutes to play, Sandy Bay were looking to get some points before the end of the half, whether it's a 3-pointer or a try. Either way, I'd say just to pull that 6-point lead down to 3. I think they'll be very happy with the way that are going to the second half. Not so much happy with the way they played, but happy to be within 3 or 6, especially with the momentum being so much against them.
I'm really surprised to see a wee 3 here. Do you have a pot of gold from here, you reckon, Junior? Were you droppy?
Oh, I think they'll give it a go first, try and get the 5, and if they can hold it for a couple of phases and it fails, yeah, you definitely chuck it back in the pocket and try and snap one over. It's a grand final. You take any points you can, when you can, and to go into the half at 13-10 down, I think they'd take that.
Yep. Yeah, that's almost 3 times better than going in at 13-7.
Well, it is. Almost, Jed.
Spot on.
Here's a kiss for Mum. Good on you, Mum. You're the top one. Paddy Donovan. Well, it's good to see him upright. Isn't it?
Absolutely.
There'll be someone holding him there.
There'll
be someone holding him there. He's got the belt buckle around the front rail. Through they come now. They push and they nudge and they move, and 3 stand 10 metres wider, and they do the same sort of thing. Sladen's organising. There's a step through from Sandy Bay. There was they pinched a couple. Now they definitely got a shot for 3 here. Yeah. And I think we'll take a vote. All those in favour of 3 say aye. Aye.
Go for the corner. Go for the corner.
Junior wants
go
to
for the 5-pointer.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I don't think
you've got to take the 3 here. You have to take the 3.
I think a bit unlucky there for Scottish. It looked like the player was on his feet, but however the man in the tackle was stuck there, couldn't roll away. So all that hard work by him was undone. 3 points, like I said, I think Gare Carey will take his time with this. It's an important kick. As Junior said earlier on, with the way that the game has flowed, mainly with Scottish, Sandy Bay would be pretty happy with just going into the half 3 down.
Well, Both of these teams would have ordered up the kitchen sink for tonight. And it would just be a matter of who blinks first and fires it in. That's the way it's working out at the moment. Gear Curry for 3, and that's a good-looking 3,
Yes.
all right. I don't think they'll find that ball in the car park either.
I think someone in football club just called that ball.
It's good to see the cannon on target there.
Well, they get the added bonus of a couple of minutes in possession as well, and you never can tell what will happen.
No, exactly. I mean, they'll be throwing everything at the Scottish guys now with a couple minutes before the half-time. Perfect time to strike.
Yeah.
You know, usually the team who strikes before half-time and just after is a team that takes home the money. So let's see.
Taken well by Sandy Bay, and they come out of the 22. Sladen plays flat, and Lambing, he takes a couple of metres as well. Goes a little bit wider. Curry, interesting move, but he's picked out Dowsing coming across, and they stop him pretty abruptly via Luke Thundersmith, and he's probably one of the only guys in town that can really pull that move off. Matt Dowsing is a real bit of work.
He's not an easy man to stop, is he?
No.
He's taken yards all year.
Now, Henderson, the Scottish flyer. They bring him down. Oh, they're going to have a wee dart for the ball there as well. And someone in there is making a real nuisance of themselves, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's Mark Pryor.
You wouldn't be wrong, sir.
Man,
You
it's
wouldn't
Mark
be
Pryor.
wrong.
There you go. They try the inside channels. And Tim
Yeah, I think-
Baker says, well,
That was unfortunate there. Lambing over-eager, pushed up. Didn't really affect the play until the player cleverly came back into him, and I'm afraid the ref had no other choice. Bit of dangerous play there, deep in the half. Sandy Bay would like to have kept the pressure on. It's a bit of a relief here for Scottish with just a couple of seconds left in the half.
well, I don't know. There's part of me that just says, quit while you're ahead here, Scottish.
Yeah, you'd want, if you're Scottish, you'd put it in the touch surely after this. Going to the break, 13 up.
I don't know, gentlemen. I'm going to say they're going to roll the. They're going to roll the dice over here. Field position is everything. I think they're deep in the half here. They might try and milk a penalty. So don't be scared if you see them take up the rumble here from the line out, or they use the big centres to crash it up and then take it from there.
Jans, and it floats over the back to Lambing. He does well to protect the ball. And it slowly comes back to Sladen. Pryor juggles with it. And with it, he almost sends the faithful over the edge. Here's Amac now. Revs it up and takes it clean over the 10 metre. Sandy Bay ball, Sladen, and suddenly sense prevails. And we go to the break after what can only be described as a pretty intense opening 40 minutes. There's the half-time score. 13 points to 10, Bloomberg Scottish lead. When we return, the half-time show with a little bit of singing and a whole lot of dancing.
How's the call going, chap? So far, so
Championship time. Oh, what a feeling. And we're joined, Rob Naylor and I, by our old friend Grant Boozerville. Boozer, wonderful to have you with us.
good to be here, Jed. Hello, viewers out there. You picked a good game to stay at home, I'd say. It's a classic, isn't it? What we'd expect in the rain from these two teams.
Well, it's more than what we expected from Sandy Bay. They're here, Boozer.
Well, it's been a bit of an awakening, I would say, the last 6 weeks, Jed. We didn't think we'd be at this final 6 weeks ago. We were dead last in the comp. Suddenly the boys found their self-belief in late January, and this is the 7th match now, and doesn't mean anything really, but we've put in some building blocks for next season, which was the main plan for this year. This is a bit of an icing on the cake, really, just even being at this final. So just enjoying the final. Some good support, especially from Sandy Bay. The brave the rain, got the kids out there. They got their faces painted up. There's a lot of noise on that far side of the pitch there. We're winning the shouting stakes, I'd say, at this stage. But, geez, one try apiece.
You're trying to tell me you got John Clark screaming for you this year.
There's a few Valley boys there that just want some kit. You know how it is, bit of merchandise. But, yeah, one try. You got to say both teams are taking their chances, aren't they? They're getting down there. Sandy Bay's been down there twice, got a try and a penalty. Well, these big boys now, they're going to start running out of steam, aren't they? So see how the benches go. We're pretty happy with our bench. Got it's very steady, 23 at the moment, same 23 as last week. So we're not sure when Wilco will go to the bench, but we'll see.
Righto, Junior.
Yes, mate.
Let's pick this one apart now. This 40 that's coming up. Where are the trump cards?
Mate, I think that first 10 or 12 minutes when Sandy Bay held Scottish out, I think that'll hold them in really good stead for the second half. They know that they can hold them up, and in a final, if you go in the second half with confidence, knowing you can hold a team up like Scottish on your own line, then your attack feeds off that. And we saw that how Sandy Bay turned around, they held them off, they went down and scored at the other end. And as we said before, like going in at 3 points down the half, that's gold for them. And they should take so much confidence out of defending. As your team success, feeds off the defence, and the way they defended was second to none, and it was all credit to them. So I think that's a telling point.
In that opening 40, players of note that you thought it really performed?
Mate, I think for Scottish, that they've used Lex quite a lot, and I think now they really need to start using him as the decoy. Because he's only been back for 4 games, so he's probably hasn't got that fitness under his belt. But if they start dumbing him and using Hendo and the other guys and obviously the fullback coming in, I think that could be the telling tale. But I think with Sandy Bay, the big number 8, he's taken up all day, and I think he's definitely got 80 minutes of trucking in him. But I'll be looking to the bench, guys like T-Mac coming on and just adding that X factor. I think that could be a telling tale.
Right, before we go to the replay of the presentation, Boozer, all the best, my friend. Congratulations on making your way through to the final, and respect to the new Sandy Bay team.
Thanks very much, mate. Carry on.
Very good work. Let's take a look. We might have some vision of the presentation of the women's if we still have. Well, we're going to get straight back into the action. Hard to say. I'll tell you what, that would have been a pretty good preso to watch.
Yeah, the Tigers girls
was unreal.
That's that's the breaking of a dynasty there. The Tigers girls will be happy with that. They might have a few beverages tonight to celebrate the win. I know the Prem boys are having a few for them. So congratulations to the Tigers girls. They've put their all in all year, and they've come away with the spoils at the end, which is perfect.
Restart of the second half, and look at this one, a breakout. What a tackle. That was a whopper. Picked up and put away. That's what they call being rolled wet and put away hard. Cinnamon takes the shot down. Through they come. A pick and go. Well, it's like some are back and some aren't quite back from the halftime break. And the ball's back. And who's chasing it? Slocum. Slocum in a foot race with Taylor. And Taylor does all he can. But all of a sudden, the Saints from Sandy Bay come rolling in.
Yeah, that was a bit of a, I think, as you said, like a few players there still in the halftime huddle. I think that's woke them up, and that was a great hit. I don't know who did the tackle for, but it was actually good for the Sandy Bay to keep hold of the ball, and they've, a little snipe there from Dane Jans didn't do much. They won it straight back and found themselves down here.
Ball comes loose. Cummings gets across to get over it. Penalty though. And here is the question. This is the $64 question. Do you want to tie it up here, Junior, or do you want to have a crack at it?
Common sense would say take the kick, but I'd kick for touch. I would have kicked for touch, yeah.
Absolutely. With all the momentum change over here, right after the half, I might be inclined to just put it into touch over there. And in saying that, though, the lineouts for both teams been a bit difficult on occasion.
Yeah, you could have taken a scrum option, though. They could have taken a scrum option. In the ball, getting the ball in quick.
Scrum option in that part of the paddock would have been pretty good, I would have thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
But they're taking the points as they get them, get back on level pegging, and the game restarts.
Well, Gear Curry, there was A lot of expectation on him after his performance last season. He stepped up and into the breach this year. As his kick goes towards and through the uprights. And that expectation he's taken on. And he seems to carry it with consummate ease.
Absolutely, Egan. Yeah, the crowd told you it was over. That whole side over there seems to be very much behind the Sandy Bay. And it's all tied up here, Kings Park. Let's see what happens, fellas.
13, unlucky for some, they say, Junior. Unlucky for some, as Sandy Bay roll away the restart. Off into that 22 pocket. Starts out wide.
Yeah, see again there. Again, I would have taken a few hit ups, get the ball a bit wider, give the kicker a bit of an angle. But fair play, he's done a great nudge. He had a great nudge there.
Look at that.
What a nudge.
Well, yeah, poor old mate on the other side. He looks, well, dishevelled. And you would be too if you were chasing Gary Curry's kicks all day.
Yeah, that's a superb nudge, especially for a left footer.
Over here. A great clearance zone nonetheless. Has taken them from deep in their 22 right into Scottish half and put a bit of pressure on Dan Jans on this line out.
Looked like there was a hand in there. Now there's some advantage being played by way of Sandy Bay. Tim Baker brings him back, and there's appeals raining in as heavy as the water itself. From all angles, there was calls of oi, oi, and referee, and sir, and then there was probably a few things muttered that, well, you just
my non-biased eye, I would say that Tim Baker's got a spot right here, and scrum down to Sandy Bay. I think he missed Della getting his hand onto that pass, which is unfortunate for Scottish, but I know Sandy Bay will take the scrum and see what they can create from this very good attacking position.
Yeah, you're not in any better position to take a scrum than here. I mean, they've got their backs lined out. Hopefully the forwards can get decent clean ball back, and we'll see how they go. But yeah, Sandy Bay definitely will try and fling this a bit wide, stretch the Scottish D, and see if they can make some inroads.
They tie it up. Baker calls the drop, and they go a little bit steadier this time. The Scottish wind it into them. And they've blown that off them. And they have absolutely pulverised the Sandy Bay forward pack.
That's a massive scrum for Scottish there.
And that's not a statement. That is a warrant issued.
Wow, what a scrum that was. Right when they needed it, and they absolutely turned the screws, and Sandy Bay had no answer. And they just walked right through them, and this is an ominous sign for the rest of the 35 minutes that we have left in this game. We'll have to hopefully get a bit tighter in those scrums over there and not allow that again.
Poor old Fire Meeker, the 20-minute specialist, will be going, oh. Well, this doesn't look good. As they say in the islands, unlucky yous.
Yeah. I think the Sandy Bay forward pack is missing a bit of weight there, like someone like Moses Bailey.
I used my considerable weight at the back there. Yeah, I definitely would anchor down that scrum.
Big Parfit can't quite get it to hand, and it comes back to the Bay, and it's Mark Pryor. Pryor's off to the races. Pryor down, and they've brought him down. Slatham looking for his options.
It's okay.
Post can't carry. Gear straightens up and brings it in. Now it's time for a little bit of composure and control. Tim Baker says, don't worry about that. I'll set you up right about here. What do you reckon?
Mate.
And I reckon that might be worth 3 as well.
No, you know what? 35 to go. I'd go for the corner. I'd have a go. I wouldn't take the shot.
This is the time?
You got 35 to go. You're even. You might as well, balls to wall stuff here. Just throw it in.
I reckon they've all gone back. They've all gone back. They'll take the 3 over here. Just good momentum change. Like we said, Junior would like to 7-pointer would open it up a bit more than 3, but it looks like it's right in front.
Tell you what, of all the positions to take the scrum
would be now
we've seen,
midfield.
That is the one. That is almost ideal. That 19 to 20 metre range. You've got a massive blind side. Everybody's standing back.
Exactly. But
you can do the old Earl Curtin play and put all your backs to the short side, and the one fast guy you've got on the other side.
Well, maybe the Sandy Bay props might have something to say about that after the last scrum. They're like, you know what? I'm still looking my bum hole for the last scrum. I don't want to do it this one.
The old pink lifesaver. And there he is. Yeah, Curry threads the needle.
He's missed it.
Has he?
Oh, no.
That's a ploy. That's a ploy.
Oh.
What'll happen now is Sandy Bay get the ball back from the dropout.
Heavens above. The whole show's come undone here now. It's like someone's found the Jesus pin and pulled it.
That's, well.
That's a very unfortunate miss right there.
That's a shocker.
That's Andrew Chambers-esque. I've seen him do that before.
Well, Sandy Bay just have to regroup over here now. Just get the ball, keep building up the phases. And just fix that last mistake. They can't harp on about it and let it affect their future bit of play. As Vandersmith takes it up, look out for this big man.
Vandersmith into contact, and he starts him off inside the halfway. Sladen switches sides. Cinnamon gets upended, not for the first time in the game either, I might add. He'll still be having nightmares in the morning about that scrum a couple of minutes ago. Gets around the outside, and there's an up and under from Cumming. Striding through is
Incredibly
McQueen,
well taken.
and well, you know, outside backs throwing their hands in the air asking for safety. What's the world coming to? Kept in by Vandersmith, and he tries on the first one, beats him, and then gets pretty much stuffed in the pocket by the next three guys. But Sladen has it back and the Bay have it back. And when you've got the ball, you've got the hope. Babe places it. Sladen coming for the first time tonight. Gets on the sandal. Now, he is a dangerous runner when he goes, the boy from Greymouth. Sladen. Nothing happening down there, really. Nardoni on Curry. And there's Brian trying to get over the ball. Counter ruck on from Sandy Bay. Counter ruck played beautifully by Sandy Bay. There's the arrival of a big boy. And Jamie Pincott injected himself in there with a reasonable amount of vigour. And as a former halfback junior, well, I'm surprised you looked at that.
It's disgraceful. You shouldn't be able to touch us. You're not allowed to touch scrum halves.
Absolutely.
He should be sent off for that.
Filthy little things. You shouldn't be able to touch them.
Should be wearing the pink shorts. You know, watch out there. Sandy Bay did really well there to contest that breakdown and able to force the scrum. I think they need to make a statement over here. They need to show that their pack is solid and can't afford to be giving away set-piece ball. After that last scrum, I think this is a big moment here for both teams, especially the Bay. They need to man up here and show what they're made of.
So, scrum time. 50 minutes gone now in the Grand Championship final. It's 13-all. It has been final after final. All teams today have really been putting it in. A bit of scrum from Sandy Bay. And Curry sits back and then unloads. And that is a massive kick.
He does have an absolute giant boot on him, doesn't he?
The return. And out. And Seb Bryan says, I love it. You've got to try it though, don't you? If you don't ask, you don't get, Junior.
That's 100% true. You just got to, I like it there. Just all confidence just ran straight back for the mark. But unfortunately, we all know if you're 25 metres inside your 22, you're behind the 22.
Nothing gets by Rob Naylor. Well, almost nothing.
A couple of big guys at the ball during my day of playing did, but...
Up and over they go. Sandy Bay on the front foot. Delaforce shirks off Lex Kalika, and there wouldn't be too many that have done that, I don't think. He made him look like a rag.
I think that was preservation rather than...
And wisely so, we would say. He flew up there, was able to just do a little shimmy at the last second and managed to get out of the clutches of Lex.
If you're going to say his spotter sensors are working well. So, referee Baker, he's insisting that you play the game at my pace. Dane Jans. Well, what about that one? And referee Baker, he's just said, well, Enough of the tomfoolery, fellas. I'll tell you who's managing the game.
I think he had a word to them there, and they just still took their time. So
it's a freak. Kerry just needs to watch out over here. I think he thinks it's a penalty. It's a free kick. So it'll be interesting to see what they do over here. Might
just put this high.
Big bomb, it comes in.
It certainly has gone high. It's gone really high.
It's gone 45 metres high and 5 metres long.
I don't really know about that one. Didn't pay off for Sandy Bay there at all. Just gave away possession.
It's quite hard to understand really where they were coming from on that one.
No, I think he tried to get, I don't know what he tried. It didn't work. Anyway.
Scottish ball in hand. And it seems an eternity since they've had it in hand, to be honest. Nardoni, that's not your line. That's not your line.
Unlucky there. As we say, big oos. 5 meters on the field in 18, as you can see, and put a good shot in there.
That might be the reason why that ended all of a sudden.
It was a good shot from the man from the islands.
Incredibly, I didn't quite notice 5 meter come on, but I think he has. As Scottish now make their way down to the Sandy Bay 22, and we send our alofas to the Mika family, including the old mate Mike, Sneaker, Mika and Invercargill, former Manu Samoan prop.
That's good.
Scottish now.
Good sack there by Sandy Bay.
It was too, but they've returned it to the feet, and now they're looking like a unit at the moment. Mika in there making a nuisance of himself. Down it goes. Now they move it. Longston, Kalika. He collected a couple too on the way through, and around the corner comes Jans, and he's taken. That was a low ball, wasn't it?
He did well to hold on to that one.
Did very well indeed. Now Dickinson,
Sandy Bay looking a bit thin on that blind side over there. Guys will have to get in. Oh, that was lucky.
Tell you what, they Sandy Bay ref that one well.
They did.
I don't know if the ref was going to call that, but he heard the pleas from the Sandy Bay guys and decided he should give them the benefit of the doubt there. I mean, Sandy Bay are lucky there. They seems like they've got out of jail there with that. It's all started with that bad free kick down in the Scottish half. Scottish has had momentum from there, put the ball in touch, but they might live to fight another day.
Yeah, they'll have to work pretty hard over here now. It's accidental obstruction, so it looks like it's going to be a scrum down to Sandy Bay. The Bay want to play the game at the right end of the park, and when it's all 13-all like we're seeing at the moment, we know that those 3-pointers are going to be incredibly important and vital to the winning team in this situation. So I think Sandy Bay will be look at what you've been saying earlier, Rob, is maybe take 2 or 3 phases instead of their traditional one that they've been showing in this game, and then build it up and then let Gare carry loose on that massive left boot of his and see if they can slide their way down into the 22.
No, I mean, definitely from down here, you take the ball forward, and you never know. A gap might turn up and you can take the gap, but you don't want to be kicking from the base of the scrum here. You'd be passing back into your own try line. They're better off taking 2 or 3 hit-ups. Look at the side. You've got options. Bang it for the corners, or indeed, if a gap comes, you take it. So, I mean, that's what I'd be doing. We'll see what happens.
Well, a bit of a golf clap on the far side, so I think someone might have been retired for the evening.
Yeah, it seems like someone's been hurt, unfortunately, and the medics are busy dealing with them now.
Oh, yep, okay. Well, that doesn't look great, does it?
I think he did give just a quick wave to the crowd to say that it's not all bad, and there was a bit of a clap that went around, but never nice to see a player going off on a stretcher.
I don't know, there's a few times I felt like going off on a stretcher, to be honest. Meanwhile, in the VIP tent, it's pretty hard work. Look at it. They're really slaving away in there. Gary Kemp and Father Craig McKenzie from Valley.
Yeah, I think they must have just can't be thinking the Valley was in the final.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is sort of a set and forget thing, isn't
it? They've booked their taxis 10 years in advance up to Kings Park.
Meanwhile, in general admission, there's been a few umbrellas appropriated there, I would have thought.
A few of the Tigers girls there, they don't look like they're celebrating too hard at the moment. Maybe they're biding their time till after this game to sort of start celebrating.
No.
Not a bad replacement to have come on.
Yeah, it's not too bad, is it, really? when you can see one bloke off and see Camberco make his way into the action. It's all going pretty good, to be fair. So, do we know who's gone down there, Moses?
No, Moses isn't playing, mate.
No, Ali spent at least 5 extra minutes on the ground if it was me.
It would be a miracle if he was.
Exactly, yeah.
I need a bit more time.
And then he'd get up and say, it's okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, no,
it's all right,
no,
I'm fine.
Magic spray, a bit of water, a little bit of juice, in it to win it.
So, Dylan Rogers with his crew cut, looking a little bit younger, I might add.
Yeah, no, look, he's trimmed himself up for what will likely be his last game, and I must say the man's been fired up over the last 2 weeks. He's been talking it up. He's been fired up at trainings. He's been putting himself in the hard yards, earning his place, and working really hard.
Carlsberg did a MILF site.
As the crowd gives a clap.
Oh, shit. Not good for sevens.
So, the rain, persistent. Almost as persistent as Rob Naylor.
One of his many.
But there very few things are.
It's true.
Very endearing trait of his, I must say.
He packed
Especially in
down.
the South Stand on a Sunday of the sevens.
Yeah, no, look, almost as unplayable as the Saturday in the evening.
Oh, dear. Who needs enemies, eh?
There's the touch up. In they go. Well, we'll see whether Firemakers' presence can keep things on a fairly even keel. It's actually not looking too bad, is it, for Sandy Bay there?
Look
Off
out.
the back comes
Look
Tweed
out.
for the line. What a try! What a try! And is that Matt Dowsing? It is. Well, it's almost appropriate that that's the man that puts it in. It may not be the nail in the coffin, but it could be the bloke that starts the band. Look at that one.
It all came from that incredibly strong scrum once again. If you look at it, started off good for Sandy Bay, and then all of a sudden the pickup, he went right between two players, unfortunately. Strong fend, and no one is going to stop him from there.
Wow.
And Scottish take a 5-point lead with a kick in a very useful position to come. Sandy Bay, you'd have to say, would have to start playing the right end of the field and start getting a bit more momentum with a bit more phase play. At the moment, they making a couple of unforced errors that are putting extra pressure on them and putting them on the wrong side of the park.
What about that one, Junior?
Mate, it was obviously great momentum ball from the forwards there, and you don't need to give Josh Dowsing much of a space to make it count. He's carried that ball probably 15 metres there. The scrum turned the wrong way for the Lucy's to get off in time. So, and the extras are over.
Whoa. That was an absolute dead duck that's come off Sean Taylor there.
Wasn't the best looking kick, was it?
Wobbly at best, but over she goes.
The old Bowden Barrett special.
Doesn't matter. It's still on the scoreboard as 2 points, so he'll take it.
Yeah, Josh Dowsing did so well with the ball at his feet then.
He did, and he actually, picked it up really well. I think this Sandy Bay needs to do something about this scrum. They need to try and shore it up somehow. I don't know how, but it could be a big turning point in the game if they can't fix it.
Well, Firemakers introduces himself again with gusto. Oh, he's not missing tonight, Firemakers, with the old shoulders. Comes as far as Thunder Smith, and he tries them all on as well. And look at the power of the man as he hits and drives, and they slide back. Pryor, he goes head down at the line as well. Sladen keeps him in the cleats, him set up for a bit of close quarters combat here. 10-5. 10-5. 10-5. That's how they're running it at the moment. Now they let it go. Flat ball according to Baker, and it needed to be flat because there's Firemakers running on, and he doesn't really run these days. Dowsing. Set off down the line by Dickinson. taken by Cameron, and Gus Cameron, he's held a skelter, isn't he? It's unbelievable.
There we go. Right. Penalty, diving over.
They've got to bang this for the corner. No, there's no point taking 3 here.
No, I think it's a little bit too far as well. I think Curry will look for the touchline, and Sandy Bay will have to try and create a good platform here from the line out, and then build the phases and hopefully get right back in this game with a 5-point of their own.
Yeah, they've got to find some tempo here. They're the Bay.
Yeah, they're getting isolated running there too. The last couple of runs there, they're relying on Vandersmith to take it up a lot, and he's not getting the support. And when they came left, it was isolated, and Scottish just turned it over and took the ball away.
Post goes long. It's taken well by Babe down the back. They set up on him. One of the things they did well against Club last week was they rolled that ball into great effect, and here they go now. Slatum holds, and then eventually gets drawn down. Well, it's in there somewhere.
Advantage again to Sandy Bay. Looks like player coming in off his feet. It's a free ball. Let's see what they can do here.
Cummings pushes one towards the corner. It's no good. They will come back, and is there a card possibility here? No.
I would probably say it's not a card touch. I mean, there really hasn't been too many penalties down here, so it would have been a harsh decision to give a card.
Absolutely, I agree with that. There's been so another 3-pointer here for Sandy Bay. The last one missed, I suppose. Get this one in within 4 points, and then it's just a try. There's plenty of time left in this game. So I'm not too perturbed about this decision. Just we've got to make it count, and got to make sure we stick this 3, come away with points, and then play at the right end of the park.
So, Curry back in a spot that he made a bit of a meal from really before. 20 to 13, they need it though. It's going to be important. Moses Bailey mentioned it earlier. They will need absolutely every point going. So far, every other team that's played a Grand Championship final on this park today has 2 1-point victories in a row. There's Curry, and he's got it. So now they're back within 4 with 20 minutes to go.
Back within striking distance now, and just that little bit of momentum shift. Hopefully, they could have been a bit down after missing that penalty, then giving away a 7-pointer. So it's very important for Sandy Bay to get 3 points back there and just hopefully build a little bit more momentum. Like we've said, it's all about momentum in this game of rugby. And here we go from the kickoff on the blind side.
Sandy Bay field, and they bring it up towards the 22, and that's where it all sort of settles down.
Just seemed to slide off the boot there of Gay Curry, and fortunately he does find touch, but still deep within Sandy Bay's half. Scottish won't mind being here.
No, it's not the clearance they really needed. They need to get down near the halfway line. This is too close to comfort.
So, referee Baker just organising, administrating, managing.
Sandy Bay crowd getting involved that side.
Getting very, very involved. They were massively involved last weekend. It was one of the great memories of hearing the chorus in full voice at the football club as that score 31-10 got flashed on the board. Not long after Angus Cameron went in for his hat-trick.
Oh, what a treat that was. The man has been whining all week, all previous week before that, about being snuffed his opportunities to score, and he goes into the semi and scores a treble. What a way to answer.
It's not often you get a semi-final double, let alone a hat-trick. What a beauty. Here we go now.
Ash Hyde just come onto the field as well in the front row. Let's see if the big Kiwi can make an impact as well as the Bay turn it over and the crowd lets you know it.
Well,
is this the turning of the tide? Can they get down there?
This is where legends are made. These final 20 minutes. These championship minutes are on the way. This is where it all gets sorted out. The precursor to the end.
Still plenty of time for both teams here to show their wares. But 28 minutes. It's anyone's game.
Well, you'll find it's 18 minutes, Junior.
Yes. But I just account for the 10 minutes extra time because it'll be a draw at the full time.
You guys know by now that Junior only counts in tens.
I usually count in hundreds. I don't carry less than $100 in the pocket. Of lobsters.
You don't carry more than $100 either.
Well, that's okay.
Good break here by Van der Smit.
Great run by Van der Smit, and he injects some real go forward into the Sandy Bay question. Is coming now. Gets on the right foot, and he should be a man that knows all about wet weather. Coming from the West Coast, as the reply from Taylor goes long, and they might let it run.
You'd let
it run.
Sure.
Oh, he's let it run.
What a result for Sandy Bay. That is exactly what they needed here in Scottish's half. An opportunity to go on the front foot and to further narrow that 4-point lead.
Well, they could narrow it beautifully with a try. Let's just see how we're going to go up front here. There's this new combination up front of Faimika with Alex Post and Ash Hyde on the loose head side. Is that the remedy for some of the destruction that we saw earlier in the game?
I think you'd be looking for a quick feed, quick hook, and get the ball out of there as quick as you can if you're a Sandy Bay.
Van der Smit.
The rain really has been relentless as it slides away. As you think it's sliding away, it starts coming back, and now it's coming down in healthy fashion over here. Not making the scrum any easier, that's for sure.
So it's not like Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish. Don't have a few buttons to press either. You saw they brought on Bako for the injury to Nardoni. They've got a fairly good-looking bench themselves, and including the young man Kyle Sullivan. He'll be one to watch for the Hong Kong squad later in the year with the Asian Rugby Championship. Faimika's gone down. The calls come in from the AR. Sandy Bay roll away with it. Here comes Cameron. Cameron into the line. He goes down. Sladen has to deal with the counter ruck. Stands by Van der Smit. He takes and rolls up. He's always pretty good to go, isn't he? Van der Smit. And Hyde steps inside the first tackler. Sladen goes wide. Almost an outstanding catch by Faimika at the first slip, and
knocked back apparently. Yeah. So
he's done well.
They lived the fight of the day there. They got away there. Got away with that.
It's good work though by Scottish. Not standing back. They're meeting them well ahead of the gain line. As Babe tries his way in, there's no way in. Yeah, they play it into the pocket and coming. That's exactly what you do in Greymouth when it's terrible and cold and windy and cold and terrible and cold. Oh, the deflection. Oh, it's a crazy old game of rugby union. Oh, he's picked it up on the fly.
There goes the big fella.
What about this one? Takes two of them, and a big two of them to bury him.
There's the advantage, not rolling away once again.
Can't get out of the way. Cameron tries them on. Cumming takes the shot. The advantage still going to Sandy Bay. Cameron still on the line again. Parfit, there might be two penalties they can take here. And Baker brings him back for the first one. By Jingos.
I don't know now with 4 points in it. Penalty looking pretty...
I would take the penalty.
Yeah, I think this is the time to take the shot. Take the three. You've still got about 13 and a half minutes to go.
I'd take the penalty, and I'd go to the commentary box and I'd say, gee whiz, Moses, if you hadn't have been red carded, we could have shuffled you out there for the drop kick. We know you've got one in you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would have been making the break, going all the way, and then little 3-pointer over just to finish it off.
Mate, you know.
robbed from it.
You know, sometimes I look at you and I think, are you Francois Pina?
Since and Brooke? Same size, surely.
Same size toe anyway, I think.
More hair than Francois Pienaar, though, surely.
So, Gear Curry steps up again. Can he bring it back to a 1-point ball game? And he goes, he steps in, he hits it high, he hits it long, and he hits it over.
The crowd will tell you once again, it's a 1-point game. Scottish 20, Sandy Bay 19. It's all happening, Junior.
Moses Bailey has perked up massively in the last 30 seconds. It's unbelievable.
Well, just about to say it's almost time for that little special there. See if we can finish the game off with a smile on our face. Either way, look at this one. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 20 points to 19. 18 minutes left. Sorry, 12 minutes left. I've caught your disease, Junior. What are you doing to me?
Nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong.
Well, I've only got 20 bucks in my pocket.
Deep restart. There goes the booming left boot once again, well fielded.
It's a towering kick, isn't it, as Taylor takes it up and the chip is... Well, Baylor says play on. Sladen pokes it back at them. It's plucked out of the air. Fizzed around Bako. He's been training all week for this. And he carves off a decent bit of territory, the loose forward. And pretty soon we just won't need backs.
Wishful thinking, Jedi, wishful thinking.
Now, very important that Sandy Bay still maintains integrity over here with their game plan and plays the match in the right side of the park over here. They need to get deep down into the Scottish half and play the game from there.
Babe.
That was not ideal, unfortunately.
Well, they can't blame it on the breeze because there isn't any.
Slippery ball, Jed, slippery ball.
That drop goal you were talking about, Junior, you reckon they might set up for it over here after a few phases? Or try and push through for the 5-pointer themselves?
No, I think they'll go for the 5. I think they'll put everything they've got in the scrum. They'll try and win a scrum penalty. And if they win a penalty, I'd say they'll take a shot. But if they don't get a penalty, they'll flick it wide, try and score the 5.
Absolutely. This is a big moment here for Sandy Bay with 10 minutes to play. Right, pretty much in the danger zone where they are right now, and a scrum penalty, you'd almost certainly give away 3 points. So this is big for them.
But yeah, the biggest scrum of the game, 100%.
Dickinson has the ball. Scottish on the attack. Sandy Bay. That's their 22. And they'll go for the reset and the reconfiguration and the, well, everything else that they need. Just bringing to your attention. Coming up very soon in 2019. Darkness into light. This is Saturday morning, the 11th of May 2009, starting at 4:30 a.m. It's a walk and support for those in need and those suffering depression. The darkness into light. It's a great occasion to get out and meet the community, meet some friends. As Scottish take the penalty, as Rob Naylor suggested they were going to go looking for.
Interesting to see what they do here. If they go for another scrum, try and get a guy sent off, maybe, or just go for the shot.
That'd be a way of turning the screws, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's I suppose a difficult decision over here. It is a final. You want to take all the opportunities, but at the same time, you also want to, I suppose, look at that opportunity of getting the yellow card, playing the last 10 minutes with 14. That could be vital, but Dowsing looks like he's opted for the cautious option, probably the right option, actually, going for the 3-pointer and stretching that lead out beyond the penalty and forcing Sandy Bay to score.
Taylor now for 3. And what an important 3 it is.
That Tsunami logo standing proud on the back of that shirt.
Absolute hush around the ground at the moment as Taylor makes his way to it. And he sees it through. 23 points for Hong Kong Scottish. Sandy Bay on 19. And they've thrown them in sideways in there, haven't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, it all came from, unfortunately, that crooked throw in the skew line out over there. We went to the scrum, went to the penalty, went to the 3 points. Sandy Bay got a hit back, and it's getting less and less time for those penalties to count. It's going to have to be a 5-pointer, I'd say.
Well, this is where it starts right now. They got the line out, 25 metres out, 26 metres out. This is a perfect platform to throw something at them.
You're not wrong, Junior. You're not wrong. This is the perfect opportunity over here for them to build a few phases, see what they can get out of it. Maybe mock a penalty, put it back in the corner, or try and bash it up and score the try straight away. Let's have a look.
Post goes long.
Dear.
It's upset by Scottish and Tweed. Nathan Tweed. Been a real find for that Scottish pack. Almost a finishing touch for the loose forward department for Hong Kong Scottish. As they hoist it away, but it's Sam Bryan does well to control it in the end. Slatham slips into position. He finds Lamming, and Lamming tries them on as he would at any stage in the game.
Sandy Bay going to need something special over here. They're going to need someone to open it up a little bit. Will it be that man Cameron?
Head high there, but
Well,
Away now.
I think they just need to keep the ball. That's the key thing right now. Just even if it's boring dull rugby, just keep the ball and get that momentum going. A few hits up. Let's see what happens. There's no point kicking the ball away at this stage of the game.
Slatham in again, and then he finds Lamming. And Lamming playing close to the line, or sorry, Lawrence Babe it was. Pryor, they've knocked it loose. Or did they knock it forward?
Referee says
offside
no advantage,
there.
offsides.
Maybe they're just straight up cheating.
This is critical here. Bang to the corner. He's got to get it down within 5 metres.
Absolutely, he's got to get close. But the line-out hasn't been functioning for Sandy Bay in the last couple of times. They really got to slow it down. Go to one of their go-to men over here. Make sure they can secure the ball first. The line-out, everything will come thereafter.
So changes being made now. Off comes Gear Curry. It's a big move. So too Seb Bryan.
More.
So
Bring it down.
now they edge it away and post at the back, and he's got it. They're in pretty good shape here, actually.
Great
a
leg
nice
to
long
it.
tail. Now they want to work it back. He needs to give it back. They spin it round. Arrives as Alex McQueen comes
There's
charging
the
in. but
advantage.
He's thrown away because he's not needed. And away they go again. They're scrambling inches out of this Scottish defence. Coming, he looks to go high, wide and handsome. Taylor takes it and they come back for the penalty advantage.
Unfortunately, the kick over there was only high and wide.
Well,
Didn't quite go to plan.
I think he might have known he had the kick there. I think
think it
Yeah,
was,
he definitely
Yeah.
did.
But you
Had
know,
the advantage.
in the old vernacular, you'd say that was cuck, right?
this is
Definitely
critical
not
here.
as tasty as a tea and coke that was sliding down as we watched the last 10 minutes over here. I know the people back in the Republic will be enjoying themselves with a few quiet teas this evening. And here comes the man himself, T. McQueen. On he goes. The man can finish, and
Well,
hopefully with an X-Factor player like that, he can lead Sandy Bay to something special in his last 5 minutes.
well, we might see who's who in the zoo now that T-Mac's in the vicinity. Look at him go there. He's arrived already. He's keen to get his nose in. The Bay walk it in. The Bay go marching in.
Onside, blue.
Here it is for them. Luke Robertson.
And the crowd is loving it. Great work. The big Dutchman has gone in. He's taken it short. No one was going to stop him. And the 5-pointer has put Sandy Bay in the lead with just a few to go.
Well, we'll let Moses just take 1 or 2 breaths here. before he just explodes. And Luke Fundersmith, as we watch it now, good-looking maul, and well, the fact that Tom McQueen got on there and touched it, Junior, probably turned that into a try.
Mate, exactly. I did say earlier on that T-Mac could be the difference, and well,
The magic hands.
hey, I did say it. I did say it.
No, that was unbelievable play there. It all came from setting the line out, pulling the phases, driving. Another great drive there, good length on the drive. And they were unlucky actually to be pulled down a couple of meters short. Didn't look like that was very legal. And on comes this young man over here, Jack Meadows. He has got a metronomic boot, and hopefully he can slot this two-pointer to take it out to 3, which will force Scottish to have to either try and tie the game, go to extra time, or have to go for a 5-pointer. But this is crucial.
Jack Meadows can kick, and we're about to see evidence of it now. Jack Meadows.
The crowd lets you know.
This next couple of minutes here is critical for Sandy Bay. They need to keep cool heads. They need to make sure they are one job at a time. Take the ball off the kickoff, drive it up, and then just get it back down into Scottish territory. They can't afford to play in their own half now.
26 points to 23.
Step one. Great
Taking
take.
the ball well. 2 minutes left on the clock, but the referee controls.
They need to hit this up. They need to keep this hitting us up. They can't kick it away now.
And it's going to be up the jumper, one would have thought.
Oh, no.
Lost forward. Well,
Unfortunately,
Sandy Bay with a 3-point lead. Now stare down the barrel of having to tackle Scottish out of existence.
well, the problem there is going to go to the scrum again, and the last 2 scrums have resulted in 2 penalties and 6 points.
Yeah, I mean, this is critical. This scrum is, I said before that scrum before was the most critical scrum in the game, but turns out I was wrong for once. This one is going to be the penultimate scrum. If Sandy Bay can hold out here in the scrum, they might find themselves on the right side of the scoreboard. But you know, as trends would go, the last 2 scrums have been 2 3-pointers.
Yep.
It'll be decision time though.
4
What do
and
they
5 from Sandy Bay really need to go big right now.
It's
a 4-5 effort, this one. Pryor and Delaforce, if they want to see it home, this is the one.
They need to dig in here.
Yeah, I'd say Sandy Bay are going to need full 8 on this one. They're going to need the big man at the back as well. The loose forwards all in, a full 8-man shove over here. This is what it comes down to. This is the championship time. These are the championship minutes, and we'll need to stand up now and be counted. This is big time. Let's have a look what happens.
That'll be decision time for the Scottish if they do get a penalty here. Do they take it for a draw, or do they kick for the corner and go for the win? You have to go for the win, surely.
You'd think so. You'd think so. Difficult to take it into extra time. Going on, I don't know, maybe. I suppose there's a case for both, but here's the scrum first.
Well, the Bay have held up. Oh, they
the
won
ball's
it.
Come out. The ball has come out.
Slatham steals it. Cumming lets rip downfield. It runs and it runs and it runs.
Well,
and it runs a wee bit further.
It seems
but
like
they
the
come
whistle's
back.
gone.
Yes, Baker's going to bring them all the way back. Well, Tim Baker's done the lazy man's job there and just blown on the whistle. It's not like he's gone after the ball.
I thought it was a little bit too lucky and too good to be true there. The ball did seem to come out of the tunnel, unfortunately.
yes. Well, this is it. Whatever happens in the next 5 seconds is the game.
80 up on the clock. 3 points the difference. The Saints of Sandy Bay, they'll be beatified.
Well, they held that last scrum well, so they'll get confidence from that. Yep. And they'll know full well, they hold the scrum, then it could be the game.
Simple as that. The scrum is the game. They need a massive, full 8-man effort, like we said earlier. There's the hooter. This is all down to this one play. Let's see what happens.
Touch up. Here's the drop. Dickinson feeds. The Bay hold on. The Bay hold on. Baker blows it up. He'll bring them back. Still, this atmosphere is starting to get critical. You can feel that the bleachers on the far side will just get torn to pieces. At the moment, there's people here watching that don't even know what's going on. And still they're interested.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we're back to it now. the focus purely on the Sandy Bay scrum. So dominant today has been Scottish through the pack that it seemed a fait complete, and they go for the restart. Too much movement at the start of that wasn't safe. Baker brings him back to manage it again, and look at some of the body language from the Scottish guys. Heads aren't exactly up, are they, at the moment? Hands on hips. Almost looks like they're telegraphing that
there's a bit of worry in the eyes.
There's
definitely a bit of worry in the eyes there. I mean, they've tried to push Sandy Bay back the last 2 scrums, and they've gone nowhere. So,
they drop in. 5 Meekin takes a good hit. They wind it in. They wind it in again. They wind in. The Bay go on them. And so they've tied it up. Sladen gets in. Now they'll have to stay clear of this. It's about discipline. Dickinson, he finds Jans coming around the corner. Bay back it up again. Here comes Big Lex. The Bay spread out again. Short side play to Pincott. He gets nailed. No gain there. Dowsing calling for a little bit of hip. He's got no one there for him to go. Everybody wants something, but everyone's a bit tired at the moment. Pincott goes. Again, he plays through a big work rate, doesn't he, Jamie Pincott, for a big man. Dane Jan picks and goes. Pico looks on.
Sandy Bay's defence is amazing here. They're just holding on.
Parfitt with him. They lay it back. Listen to that crowd calling home the Saints. Pick and go again. By Hong Kong Scottish.
Is there a drop goal coming up from the Scottish to try and get the 3 points?
They've got to be looking for it. No one's looking for it at the moment. Sandy Bay defence is firmly fixed on what's in front of their noses.
Sandy Bay doing great here. They're just putting one man for the tackle. The rest is fanning out.
Yeah, they're going
to not giving away any penalties.
Absolutely, going to make sure
they go away. They go away now. They try something else to shift the point of attack. They send up Andrew Henderson. He's not the biggest man, but he certainly is slippery. They back off again. Dickinson. Dowsing caught behind the line. Good tackle from Delaforce. Pick and go. Still, they sustain the attack. Bloomberg, Hong Kong Scottish. What a show they've put on today. 26 points to 23. They trail. Well, they're the ones with the ball. They're the ones with the go forward. They're the ones with the prize in their eyes.
Sandy Bay just got to be clever over here, not overcommit like we were saying earlier. Got to work for each other. It's only 7 or 8 metres out now.
Scottish pile in. The Bay look. Hyde and Vandersmith make the tackle. They fan again. Lamming gets lower. Drops him. Unbelievable durability of the man. Inches by inches they get closer. That's a big shot on Dowsing by Pryor and company. Counter ruck on them. They've got to keep the fight on. They've got to keep the fight on.
Patience from both teams here is utmost important.
The next time that whistle goes, this game is over. We all know that. We can all sense it. The players now surely are fully aware of it. The crowd are almost delirious. Look at them in the VIP box. Rammed around the front rail. Ball on the inside. The show. Oh, he just about went for glory.
Angus Cameron did so well to hold on there.
Longston goes to ground. Now they've got to regather the defence. That shifted the point of the attack. Back towards the poles they go. Oh, they're looking more impressive now. Scottish. Dickinson. Taylor moves it wide. What a tackle. An outstanding tackle by Meadows. Absolutely boot-laced him.
Metronomic tackle and the counter is on. And the ball's out. And there it is.
It's a win.
The Bay have done it.
It's a win to the Bay. It's a win to Sandy Bay. And the Saints see them off.
What an absolute treat. They must have defended at least 30 phases in the last 2 minutes. The crowd rushes on. The joy is unbelievable. You can see it on the field. You can see it in the crowds. The Bay have come from nowhere this season to put 7 in a row.
Unbelievable stuff.
Well deserved from the Bay there. They held out, held out well there at the end. Held out well in the first half, and they showed their wares. 7 on the trot. It's hard. You're taking it into. They took in form into the final, and they proved that form is the telling tale when it comes to this end of the season.
Ben Roberts, his face seen amongst the crowd there, and what does this win? What does this win mean, Rob Naylor, for not just Sandy Bay, but for Premiership rugby in Hong Kong?
Mate, it's a great thing for Hong Kong rugby. Last year there was a new team in the final with the USRC Tigers. This year, 2 brand new teams. It's the changing of the tide. Let's hope so. It's not just a 2-horse race anymore, and we can only hope for bigger and better things next season. But Sandy Bay, all credit, as I said before, taking form into the final, and that first 10 minutes of D on their own line just proved point that last 10 minutes on their own line as well, which is it's great for them. I'm really happy for the Sandy Bay to win this.
The thoughts and comments about this Hong Kong Scottish side,
mate. They'll be disappointed, but you know what? It's their first shot at the title. In reality, this is Sandy Bay's 5th. They'll be disappointed. Everyone's disappointed to lose the final, but they got to hold their head high. They took it to the end. They they had a chance to win it, but they unfortunately couldn't quite get there.
Well, the pictures say it all, don't they? Look at the delirious smiles on the fans of Terry Barrow in the background. He is looking a little bit dazed and confused. Known and respected Hong Kong Football Club member offered the challenge of going away with Sandy Bay this year, and he took it.
And he took it well.
And look what happened. Yeah.
His boot is the Midas touch. Left Valley goes to Sandy Bay, and they win the league straight away. They win the Grand Champs straight away. So maybe it's the gold fingers of Grant Boozevel. Who knows?
Well, it seems to be quite a bit of pressure off me in the commentary stakes. I don't think here's a man here now, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Fundersmith with a try. Gear Curry with a bunch of points themselves. And the South African pairing, well, they've been a touch of class in the season so far. Matt Lamming decides he's going to have a beer early, and I reckon he deserves it, that man.
That's a happy man there, Della. He's been in the wars the last few years, but he's strung up the boots this year, and he's helped carry this Sandy Bay team through the finals. It's good to see these boys get a win. As I said before, it's their 5th time in reality, so yeah, all credit to them.
Well, there's going to be a party tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think that's too hard to figure out.
There definitely will be a few beverages had in the Sandy Bay club rooms or the Sandy Bay pub, wherever they decide to go. But it's yeah, there'll definitely be some sore heads tomorrow morning.
There's one for the Biltong Chief, Dylan Rogers, Alex McQueen. Look at how happy. Look at the smiles. There it is, the memorable moments. Let's check out some highlights. This opening effort from Liam Slater, the mismatch that was caused earlier, and Rob Naylor, he went on to have a big influence in the game.
No, he did, Jed, and just the vision of the guy from the first run there. He saw that he had a mismatch of 2 forwards and took it forward and scored.
And the try by Dane Jans, an important score, well taken by an experienced head.
No, he had a great game, Dan. He had a great season as well, but they played it well there, the Scottish. They did all the things right, but just that Sandy Bay defence just wasn't going away.
Josh Dowsing has been a tower of power for the Scottish side this year, and that was it took skill, it took courage, and it took some real power, and Dowsing's got that in spades, but so does this bloke, Luke Fundersmith. What can you say about him, Junior?
I tell you what, if I had $1 for every metre he made today, I'd be a rich man. He basically, it was the momentum that the Sandy Bay needed. He took that ball forward all day, didn't take a backward step in D, and for me, he's up there for definitely for a man of the match performance. It was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely right. His form all season's been there. I just saw a very happy Rowan Vardy go past, so that's good to see. New father, and Well, he was part of that playing group only a couple of seasons ago, wasn't he?
No, definitely was, and yeah, he's it's not just a one-season thing for these guys. It's been building over the years, and they've got a great bunch of guys there. They've been building, and the proof's in the pudding today, and it's a great win by them. It's great to see another team have the name on the trophy.
Right, so earlier today there was the KPMG Women's Premiership Grand Championship final, and as we get set up for the presentation here of the Grand Championship trophy, I think we've got some vision from the women's presentation, and look at this one. It's when those Tiger girls win. What about this one for the Tigers?
That's a happy bunch of girls. They've put in the effort all season. They've come away with the spoils. Probably you'd say a bit of an upset betting Valley, but well deserved to the Tigers ladies. You've got old Gajo up there, the coach. He'll be saying he should be coach of the year. But yeah, it's a great effort all round from the Tigers girls. Amazing. And that's good left-hand drinking there, which is good to see.
Get it in the bowl, girl. Get it in the bowl.
Lindsay Vardy celebrating outstandingly.
The smiles go for miles and miles at the moment.
There's happy scenes here. It's we knew we were going to see a new name on the trophy. We've seen a new club name the first time we've seen a trophy. It's great. It's great for Hong Kong rugby.
Well, we've just the box just got raided by the boss. He's pretty happy with things, so I think we're safe for the season.
What an outstanding! Well, great scenes, just great scenes on the field. I mean, dead and buried, stone last 7 weeks ago. 7 victories in a row, 6 in a row to get them to the final, 7 in the final. It's been an unbelievable turnaround, and I know something the players have worked really hard towards. And for some of these players that are no longer going to be around Hong Kong, it's just a great send-off for them.
No, it's great. You're right there, Moses. There's guys here who have been, doing the hard yards for years now with through Aberdeen, then through Cricket Club, and now at Sandy Bay. They've been in the final, many times, and to see them get this win today is great. And as you said, there's a few guys there who are probably going to finish their careers today, and no better way to finish them with a big W. Especially in the main dance, you go to that, and like we said earlier, I know exactly what it's like to lose in this final, losing 4 in a row to the same team. So to be able to turn it around just mentally with a new year, a new team, and to go from what they did in the beginning of the season to where they are now is just it's a credit to the coaching staff, the players, Hong Kong rugby all around, and an absolute treat to witness over here. I've been waiting for that word treat all day, and you finally brought it through 20 minutes after the commentary.
We've been waiting for the treat all day, and he's brought that through as well.
Exactly. We've got some tasty treats in our clubs right now, helping Moses celebrate.
And there's nothing wrong with that, gentlemen. Nothing wrong with that.
They're settling up on the position now. This is what they call mark number 1 in the trade.
Get over there, Moses.
Get over there, Moses. Get over there, Moses. And he does. He runs into camera shot. You'll have to beat Sean Brown in there, though. I don't know how he does it, Shawnee.
That's one happy South African, Moses Bailey. Unfortunate for him not to be in the final today.
Looking like, well, it's sort of looking like Isaac Hayes. He's just not as tall, not as handsome, and not as black.
So close.
Herbert Smith, Free Hills, HKU Sandy Bay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here's your grand champions of 2018-19. Gus Cameron hits a backflip. Someone press play, because that is all yours, Sandy Bay.
Well, it's a new name on a trophy. And it's a new name for the Hong Kong rugby. And the first time they've been there, and a big win for them. Great work.
What a win. What a way to celebrate. Fantastic scenes at Kings Park as Sandy Bay make genuine history.
There he is, Moses Bailey. He's a happy man. Missed out in the final, but he's been there. He's been there for the long haul. As he said before, he's lost 4 times. Not playing for the win, but he'll be there. He's there in spirit, and he'll certainly celebrate with them tonight. We won't shut him up for the next year.
Scenes of delirium here at Kings Park, and that's where we'll leave you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to show you the Hong Kong rugby community and the party that started the party. And this one might start, well, another one. Who knows? Is this the change of guard in Hong Kong? On behalf of my co-commentator, Rob Naylor, thank you.
Thank you, Jed. It's been a pleasure.
And the wonderful and talented production staff here today. Thanks again for joining us. And signing off from Hong Kong. We'll see you again next year.